Welcome to today's video, where we face the harsh reality of financial stability head-on. If you feel like your money is constantly leaking out despite a decent income, you are not alone. Inflation, high-interest debt, and constant expenses can make you feel trapped. Today, we will implement a disciplined system to stop the leakage and take control. First, we will set the stage with the reality of the problem. Then, we will dive into Step 1, the Brutal Spending Audit. After that, we will move to Step 2, Zero-Tolerance Budgeting, before we tackle Step 3, Income Defense and Growth. Along the way, you will see practical tools, diagrams, and a short case study to pull this together. Finally, we will end with key takeaways and a plan to act today. Let's begin. Here is our agenda for today. We will start with the reality of why your money feels like it is hemorrhaging. Next, we will conduct a brutal spending audit to expose where cash is actually going. Then, we will build a zero-tolerance budget that your household can execute immediately. After that, we will protect and grow income while minimizing erosion. We will also discuss quick wins, view multiple diagrams for clarity, take quizzes to check understanding, and close with a specific action plan and key takeaways. With that roadmap in mind, let's transition to the reality check. Before we proceed, a quick but crucial disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Your situation is unique, and you should consult with a licensed professional for decisions specific to your circumstances. With that noted, let's transition to the reality of today's financial environment. Here is the harsh reality. Inflation is likely outpacing your future earning potential, at least in the short term. If you are waiting for a raise to rescue your budget, you may be disappointed. Instead, you need discipline, data, and decisive action. The feeling that your money is hemorrhaging stems from untracked discretionary spending, high-interest debt, and recurring costs that have crept up over time. Rather than relying on hope, we will rely on a system. Now, to make the problem tangible, let's visualize where typical household money goes each month. This diagram represents a typical monthly allocation for many households. Housing consumes the largest share, followed by food and transportation. Debt interest can be a major drag, sometimes rivaling necessary categories. Subscriptions, utilities, and other discretionary categories often creep up unnoticed. Savings is often the smallest slice, not because it should be, but because it is not prioritized. The key insight is that without a deliberate plan, money flows to easy choices like convenience and subscriptions. With that context, let us move to Step 1, the Brutal Spending Audit, which converts anxiety into data. Step 1 is the Brutal Spending Audit. You will collect 6 months of statements for all bank and credit card accounts and export the transactions, ideally into a spreadsheet or a budgeting application. Next, you will categorize every single transaction, no exceptions. Then split spending into fixed, discretionary, debt, and savings. Within discretionary, identify the top 5 leaks, like food delivery, streaming, in-app purchases, and impulse retail. Quantify their totals and calculate their percentage of net income. Based on these findings, decide on immediate cuts and set new monthly caps for each category. Having mapped the process, let's turn it into a quick, actionable workflow you can run in an hour. Here's a practical way to conduct the audit in about 1 hour. First, download 6 months of statements from all accounts. Second, import the CSVs into a spreadsheet or a budgeting tool like YNAB, Monarch, or Tiller. Third, apply consistent tags such as fixed, discretionary, debt, and savings. Fourth, sort by amount and merchant to quickly reveal outliers and highlight your top 5 leaks. Fifth, sum by category and compute the percentage of your take-home pay. Sixth, decide immediate cuts and define hard dollar caps for the next month. Finally, schedule a weekly 30-minute review with your partner to maintain accountability. Now that you have the audit mechanics, let's check your understanding with a quick quiz. Quiz time. The question is, what is the most effective first step to stop money leakage? Your options are: 1. Wait for a raise before changing anything. 2. Analyze the last 6 months of all transactions and categorize every dollar. 3. Cancel one subscription and hope for the best. 4. Open a new credit card for points. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to analyze the last 6 months of all transactions and categorize every dollar. Without measurement, you cannot manage. The audit provides the data you need to make precise, effective cuts rather than guessing. With that foundation established, let us move on to Step 2, Zero Tolerance Budgeting. Step 2 is Zero Tolerance Budgeting. We are moving from a casual approach to a written plan that starts before the month begins. All household partners must commit to the plan with no exceptions. Eliminate food delivery and dining out for at least 30 days to reset habits. Downgrade expensive phone and internet plans, and renegotiate insurance to reduce fixed costs. If you have high-interest debt, consider consolidation only if it reduces your total cost and frees cash flow. Pre-fund irregular expenses through sinking funds to avoid surprises. Execute with automation for bills and savings, plus a weekly check-in to correct course. Next, to reinforce categories, we will add a Mindmap diagram prompt to visualize a zero-based budget. This mind map should display a zero-based budget, with the root node as zero-based budget. It branches into income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, debt, savings, and goals. Under fixed expenses, include housing, utilities, insurance, and childcare. Under variable expenses, include groceries, transportation, personal, and entertainment. For debt, show minimum payments and extra payments to the highest APR. For savings, include emergency funds in a high-yield savings account, sinking funds, and retirement contributions. Goals might include home maintenance, tuition, and travel. The purpose is to visualize how every dollar is assigned a job. With the structure in mind, let's turn to a concrete list of quick cuts that typically hurt the least while delivering the largest savings. This table summarizes smart cuts that typically cause the least pain while delivering meaningful savings. For food, switching from frequent delivery and dining out to home cooking and batch preparation can save $150 to $600 per month. For phones and internet, downgrading and negotiating can save $30 to $80. For insurance, requoting auto and home policies every 12 to 18 months can save $40 to $120. For debt, consolidating or refinancing high APR balances may save $50 to $250, provided the total cost decreases. For subscriptions, cutting to one or two essentials can save $20 to $60. For groceries, planning sale-based lists and using generics can save $60 to $150. With expenses trimmed, let us protect and grow income. Step 3 is income defense and growth. First, place cash in a high-yield savings account to reduce the impact of inflation on idle funds. Automate transfers on payday so that savings occurs before discretionary spending. Consider increasing take-home pay by reviewing tax withholding and leveraging pre-tax accounts like flexible spending accounts or health savings accounts where appropriate. Maximize career earnings through a targeted raise request, team changes, or deliberate skill upgrades. Explore side income carefully by testing small pilots that demonstrate return on investment before scaling. Do not prioritize investing until you have at least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in an emergency fund. Remember, financial control stems from ironclad budgeting and discipline rather than merely higher income. Next, let's compare defense moves versus growth moves to prioritize your next action. On the left, defense strategies protect your present cash flow. Placing funds in a high-yield savings account, negotiating bills and rates, consolidating high-interest debt when it lowers total cost, automating essential payments and savings first, and building a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. On the right, growth strategies expand future income, requesting raises or promotions, upskilling to qualify for higher pay, piloting low-risk side hustles, optimizing tax strategy and employer benefits, and investing consistently once your emergency buffer is established. The practical approach is to handle defense immediately and launch growth initiatives in parallel at a sustainable pace. Now, to illustrate how this looks in real life, let's walk through a short case study. Let's consider the Martins, a household with $7,200 of monthly take-home income before the audit. They spent about $600 per month on food delivery and dining, had $120 in subscriptions, and carried $9,000 at a 23% APR. After Step 1, they identified approximately $900 in leaks. In Step 2, they cut delivery to zero for 30 days, kept only 2 essential subscriptions, and renegotiated their internet plan, saving roughly $650 per month. In Step 3, they opened a high-yield savings account and set an automatic $400 per month transfer. They also consolidated the high-interest debt down to about 12%, freeing $120 per month in cash flow. Within 60 days, they redirected about $1,170 per month to savings and debt acceleration. Now let's check understanding with a second quiz. Here is your next quiz. What should typically happen first on payday in a zero-tolerance budget? The options are: 1. Shop for groceries and then see what is left. 2. Transfer money to a high-yield savings account and pay essentials automatically. 3. Put everything on a credit card for points. 4. Wait until the end of the month to save. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will reveal the answer in the next section. The correct answer is to transfer money to your high-yield savings account and pay essentials automatically. Paying yourself first and automating critical bills reduces reliance on willpower and prevents accidental overspending. With that affirmed, let's lock in the key points you should remember. These are the key rules to keep. Measure before you manage by performing a 6-month audit. Budgets fail without partner buy-in, so secure commitment. Cut obvious leaks first, because small wins compound over time. Automate both essential bills and savings before discretionary spending. Defend today by using a high-yield savings account, and grow tomorrow through skills and carefully chosen opportunities. Build your emergency fund before prioritizing investing. Above all, discipline outweighs income level in determining control. Next, we will summarize the entire playbook and give you a simple action plan. Here is your 7-day action plan. Day 1. Download all statements. Day 2. Categorize every dollar. Day 3. Identify leaks and schedule the cuts. Day 4. Set monthly caps and cancel subscriptions. Day 5. Draft a zero-tolerance budget with your partner. Day 6. Open a high-yield savings account and automate transfers and bill payments. Day 7. Hold the first weekly review to iterate and improve. With a clear action plan, let's move to a concise summary. To summarize, inflation is likely outpacing raises in the near term, so discipline is essential. Step 1 is to audit the last 6 months and categorize every dollar. Step 2 is to implement a zero-tolerance budget, cut obvious leaks, and automate both essentials and savings. Step 3 is to defend with a high-yield savings account and grow through skills and carefully tested income streams. Track progress weekly, iterate monthly, and allow small wins to compound. Finally, let me thank you and invite you to take part in the community. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you clarity or momentum, please like the video, share it with someone who needs to stop their money leakage today, and subscribe for more practical, no-nonsense financial control strategies. In the comments, tell us your biggest leak and the first cut you are committing to this week. Your story might help the next person take action. See you in the next one.